Welcome into another Patriots Hub podcast, free agency reaction. Alex, Barth, Matt Dolloff, 98.5 thesportshub.com. Coming to you after the Patriots signed Robert Spillane, the linebacker, to kick off free agency. This is actually take two of this podcast. If you check out the Sports Hub Twitter, you'll figure out what I mean.
I hope we just keep trying to do Robert Spillane, and then we have to keep getting interrupted.
More signings?
Because they hopefully now they get the left tackle, and Jim Louth comes in, guys!
Well, you have the vantage point on the door, so you keep an eye out. In the meantime, the Patriots have signed linebacker Robert Spillane to a reported 3-year, $37 million contract. Did we ever get the guarantees on that?
I think we only ever got the basic terms, yeah.
3 years, $37 million for Robert Spillane, who checks a lot of the boxes that we expected to see from the Patriots free agent signing. Stylistically, quicker, more athletic linebacker like we thought we'd see as they kind of make over that defense, especially the defensive front. A guy that has connections to the coaching staff. He actually broke into the league with the Titans when Mike Vrabel was there in 2018 as a UDFA, and also played for Josh McDaniels in Vegas. Let's actually go through the timeline, because it's interesting how he doesn't have the traditional career of like a day one free agent. UDFA, signs with the Titans in 2018, only plays in 2 games, goes to the Steelers the next year, starts off as kind of a special teams ace, grows into a good rotational role with the Steelers. Then in 2023, signs with the Raiders, and he started 17 games for them each of the last 2 years in the middle of that defense. So you're getting a guy who's kind of been through it, been through the grind, 29 years old. Again, smaller than the typical Patriots linebacker, not small, 6'1", 229, but that size, the athleticism kind of speaks to what the Patriots are changing stylistically with their defense here moving forward.
Yeah, it speaks to the changes in the defensive system. They want faster linebackers that can sort of move around the field, make plays in the open field. Spillane started to make a little more of a play in the passing game over the last couple of years with the Raiders, but I think it was over 300 tackles over the last 2 years.
I know from Ray it's 158 last year.
Yeah, so he's a tackling machine.
He gets to the football. This guy, like sum up Robert Spillane in one sentence, he gets to the football.
Yeah, absolutely. So he plays that up-tempo style. He hits hard, and so I think he's going to be a perfect fit for what they're looking for at that speedy linebacker spot. And it's a hit for old Dollywood. I had him on my list.
There you go.
He was my number 3 guy, though. I mean, I had Jamie Sherwood at the top of the list because he was the Patriots' target, and then I had Dre Greenlaw as my number 2 option. This is probably Plan B or C for the Patriots, who were reportedly in on Jamie Sherwood before he apparently re-signed with the Jets. But Spillane, he's a good player. He's not going to be, a huge impact guy. Just it's the same thing as Harold Landry. Like, he'll fill a need. He'll fit the mold of the defense, and he'll make some plays. And I think the fans will like him. But he's one small piece of the whole puzzle. But I think a good piece for what they're looking to do on defense.
I'll just say, compared to the other linebackers, like Sherwood's younger and has upside. So I get, I had him ahead of Spillane, but I thought it was close because we're talking about getting smaller linebacker. And maybe this is me. I don't know what their overall preference is, but Sherwood checks in at 216. Like, at that point, just put Kyle Duggar down in the box, right? Yeah. He's small. Spillane's smaller, but can still hold up in the run game. And I had him ahead of Greenlaw because coming off the injury, like that, just Spillane, again, 17 games started each last 2 years. This guy's going to be out there.
Oh, yeah, he's going to be a starter. He's going to be a regular, I think, and with their new system. And, like you said, it signifies a complete change from what we're used to seeing with the Patriots with the bigger, harder-hitting linebackers. Spillane can hit, but, he can move around because he's a little smaller and has that extra gear, so to speak. So, yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Juwan Bentley going forward. He's been a cornerstone. He's been a leader. You could sort of feel the leadership void when he went down with an injury last year, and so they're going to have to fill that void in terms of on the field and off the field. But I wonder how he's going to fit into the whole equation now.
So I think Bentley still has a role. It'll be reduced, but there's still going to be times it's 3rd and 1. You want a 250-pound linebacker coming down the tracks to get the running back in the hole, right?
You would think they would have tried to trade him or maybe moved on from him before the start of free agency if their plans were to move on from him.
Putting him next to Spillane, if you want to go with the 2 linebacker look. I know they're going to be mainly 4-3, but you want to go with the 2 linebacker look, like you kind of have like a thunder and lightning thing going there. The guy to me that this kind of means the end for, definitely, maybe they get to camp and realize Bentley's role isn't significant enough to keep him on the team. But Jelani Tavai as kind of that second, you definitely, if you're not going to play one downhill thumper kind of linebacker a lot, you definitely don't need 2 of them. You definitely don't need 2 of them. So there's going to be changes in that room. I would say more immediately, I think this impacts Tavai, but I do think it's definitely going to impact Bentley's role. And then we'll have to see from there if that impacts his roster spot.
Yeah, I think it's going to impact Tavai more than Bentley, now that you mention it. Yeah, and, it goes back to Mike Vrabel saying we're going to remove entitlement from the organization, or however he put it.
I think that's exactly
Tavai,
what he said.
Had probably the worst look of anyone last year when he called out the fans for booing the team in that Chargers game, one of the worst games we've ever seen by the Patriots. So, yeah, I wonder if they're going to move on from Tavai after that. And, they don't need more than one of those big thumping linebackers. I feel like that's where the defense almost became sort of antiquated at the end of the Bill Belichick era. And Gerard Mayo's a guy that pretty much all he knew about coaching he got from Bill Belichick, so it was kind of a continuation, or at least tried to have a continuation of what Bill Belichick tried to do. So yeah, new era for the defense and for the Patriots, and I think the way they're redoing the linebacker spot is going to be the biggest sign of that.
Also, for those watching, not listening, the dark visor, not that many guys rock that look anymore. And it's a good look. Hopefully he
spaceman look.
He brings that to New England. So Robert Spillane joining the Patriots, 3-year, $37 million contract. And he is going to be, I think, a big part of them building up their defense. Again, I'll talk about that, or I talked about it on a previous one we did. You get Milton Williams as your tackle. Robert Spillane is your middle linebacker. There's a lot of talk about that defensive spine, right? Just building it up the middle. And then at safety, deep safety, we'll see. Do they bring in somebody? Is it still Peppers or Duggar back there, but kind of remaking the defense?
Still no word on your guy, Javon Holland.
Javon Holland, we'll see. I'm sure as soon as we're done recording, we'll get something now. But rebuilding that thing right up the middle primarily, and not just from the line out, but from the middle of the field out, and Spillane a big part of that. So for more on the Patriots' other free agent signings, because they have gone beyond that as well, a corner and a tackle too. We will have reactions for those signings up on the Sports Hub YouTube page for the video, and for the audio, Patriots Hub podcast, wherever you get your podcast, it will be available there as well. And of course, all of the written content, reactions, things like that are up at 985thesportshub.com. And the off-season website. It's all consolidated draft, free agency, tracker, offseason.985thesportshub.com. So, for Matt Dolloff, I'm Alex Barth. Until the next move, thanks for tuning in.